Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to an all-new Talkin Movies Double Feature. As always, I am your host, the real Geno Reynolds, and today, the two movies we're going to be talking about, I saw them as a double feature, and neither of them were really special, unfortunately, so I'm just going to throw them together. Today, we're going to be talking about the new animated Addams Family movie, as well as Ang Lee's new movie starring Will Smith, Gemini Man. And I will warn you before I begin, I'm probably going to talk some spoilers in this. And especially for Gemini Man, there is a twist in it, and it's not very good, and it's really predictable. So, but I am going to talk about it, but I just want to give you guys fair warning. The first movie we're going to talk about is the new Addams Family movie. Basically, what this movie is about is the entire Addams Family clan, not just this little bit of the family that we know. The whole clan is being ostracized where they're at. You know, we don't want monsters here kind of stuff. So they find a place to live in America, and they think they found their paradise for years. But then when the mist clears away from their house, they see what they're near, and as they try to put themselves into the real world, there's powers that be that are trying to, since the powers that be want to change them, and since the Addams Family doesn't want to change, the powers that be try to turn the townsfolk against them. You've heard these stories before, and look, I'm gonna give credit where credit's due here. First, I love the animation style of this movie. It looks like the old comic series, at least in some ways. So I really like the animation style, and so I have no issues with that. I liked most of the voice cast. I thought that Nick Kroll as Uncle Fester, he wasn't in it a ton, so it didn't bother me too much. But just here and there, he got a little annoying. I really liked Oscar Isaac as Gomez Addams. I mean, if you're going to have someone take over for Raul Julia, you know, it's going to be Oscar Isaac, and he's perfect. I like Charlize Theron as Morticia. Chloe Grace Moretz, really, I felt like she really brought the Christina Ricci vibe to the animated character. I think if you had Christina Ricci play the part, it would have sounded just about the same. And really, if you look at their careers a little bit, you could really compare Christina Ricci to Chloe Grace Moretz. So I liked her. Finn Wolfhard was pretty good as Pugsley. I mean, I wouldn't say there's anything special about the performance, but he's fine. I liked him as well. So yeah, most of the voice cast is good. So I like that. I liked the look of the movie. I liked some of the humor. When you've seen some of the decent humor in the trailers, where it's just like you've seen in the other Addams Family movies, where it's them saying weird, comments about certain things, and dark comments about certain things, or doing weird things. All that stuff works for me. The only thing is, though, what makes me say about this movie, don't go see it in the theaters, is that the plot's boring. The plot is thin and boring. It's all about embracing who you are, accepting each other for your differences, which, okay, that message is fine and dandy, and it's a good message. But if you don't do anything creative with that message, you just put that message in there, and here's the characters portraying that message. And like I said, some decent humor came out of that. The stuff with Wednesday at the school is pretty funny and stuff like that. So I enjoyed parts of the plot, but it's just the plot as a whole was, I mean, it's a kid's movie, so it's fine that's a little predictable, but it was just kind of, it just made I wouldn't say it made the plot tired. Or made it boring. It just made it tired. Like me. I'm really tired right now, if you can't tell. So yeah, I don't know, I think I was wanting something a little more special out of this. Something, I got some decent, weird stuff in this, but I wanted some more creepy and kooky things, mysterious and spooky things. You know what I'm saying? Um, when it came to characters, like Grandma isn't in it a ton. Um, Lurch is there a lot, but really, other than You Rang and a few gags, he's there to be the score of the movie. Because anytime you'd see him um, anytime he'd be playing music, um, he would be starting the score for the next part of the movie, no matter what they're doing. So, and then Thing didn't have a ton to do. And the weird thing about Thing, other than I look, Thing's a hand that runs. Okay, it's weird enough, but what I'm getting at is Thing has part of his wrist, and he wears a watch, and it has like an eyeball, and the eyeball kind of looks around like he can control the eyeball, like he can see. Do you really need that for Thing to show emotion? Look at the Addams Family and Addams Family Values movie. Look what they did with Thing and that, and how he could show emotions just by hand movement. So I don't know, the watch thing, they didn't use it a ton, but it was there, and it was just kind of weird. Is the movie fine? Yeah, I thought it was good enough. I didn't hate the movie. I think I was just expecting a little something more. I wanted something more out of it. Which, I think if you took your kids, look, the theater I went to, it was me and two ladies and a kid, and the kid was running around the theater during this movie. Now, that being said, I think like my son, who likes stuff like Hotel Transylvania, which, by the way, I'm pretty sure that's why we got this movie right now, because Hotel Transylvania was popular. Um, I think certain kids would enjoy this. Like my son would enjoy this. I showed him the Addams Family movie, and then we're going to be watching Addams Family Values sometime. And which, for me, even though I love the first Addams Family movie, Values I like better. It's one of those rare instances where I think a sequel was better because the characters were established. But yeah, this one, it's fine. But that's just, I wanted it to be more than fine. I like the Addams Family a lot, and they've had some missteps, after like Addams Family Values. They had like a cartoon, and they tried to do another movie, and none of it was really any good. So I think I was hoping for more. Now I would say, I don't know, this movie felt like a missed opportunity for me. It might end up on the nominees for most disappointing this year, because I wanted a lot more from this, but it's still a fine movie, and there's still a lot to like about it. But unfortunately, I can't tell you that you need to rush to the theaters to go see it. The next movie we're going to be talking about is Ang Lee's new movie, Gemini Man, starring Will Smith and Will Smith. What this movie is about, you have Will Smith's character. He is a hitman for the government, and he's getting older, and he wants to retire. The last mission he was on, even though he succeeded, he said, "I was aiming for the head and I hit the guy in the neck." He missed, his target a little bit, and he feels like he's slipping. But it comes to find out that the person that he killed on his last mission wasn't a terrorist. He was involved in this company called Gemini. And the head of Gemini is one of Will Smith's former superiors, played by Clive Owen. And so, of course, Will Smith's being spied on, and the bad guys come after him, and they fail, which Clive Owen's character sends his new project after Will Smith's character, which, of course, as if you've seen the trailer, turns out to be a younger clone version of Will Smith. Now, I'll say this. I like the idea of this movie. The movie had a lot of good ideas. I like the idea of being chased by your own clone and things like that. I mean, it kind of, I know it's not a clone, but and it was time travel instead, but it kind of gives you that Looper vibe a little bit, even though you've got it's Will Smith and Will Smith. Even though apparently the young Will Smith wasn't it, what they didn't like de-age him. It's all CG, and really you can tell at times that it is. I will say this: for being all CG, it's not bad. That being said, the stiller he is, the more he stands still, the better it is. The mouth movements really will get you, and you see it in the trailer. And they do improve on it. They fixed it a little bit, but there's still times where he's talking or when he's moving. They show like like him turning, and just things don't look totally right. It's good, but it's not great. So I like the idea of this movie, but the execution for me, the movie had some good action, but the movie tries to make itself feel like it's more important than it really is. Like it has this big time important message, and it's just I didn't find it that entertaining. It's fine. I didn't like hate the movie, even though they try to throw a twist in on you at the end, where there's this. I kept thinking of Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe. He was all in black and had like the visor and everything. And the second I see this character, which, I mean, you got to think, it's like there's one clone. Of course there's another clone, right? Of course there's another clone. And sure enough, there's this character. It's like, gee, I wonder if this is another clone. And sure enough, it is. But yeah, there's not a lot to say about this movie. It just kind of goes through the motions. You're wondering the whole time how young Will Smith can find old Will Smith. And of course, there's a tracker on him. You've seen stuff like this. That's just it. It wasn't reinventing the wheel. And I'm fine with movies not reinventing the wheel, but you got to give me something more. The movie's okay. Like I said, the action's good when it happens. The characters are fine. But yeah, it tries to feel like it's got all this weight to it, and it doesn't. Anytime it gets emotional, I really didn't feel much. And there's not really much more to say about it. I don't think it's going to be a very successful movie. Because again, you've seen stuff like this. Maybe not exactly this, but you've seen stuff like this. And it doesn't offer anything new or surprising. And really, if you've seen the trailer, you pretty much know the entire movie. Even though there's no like after credit scene or anything, there is a character at the end that says there's no more clones. We shut down Gemini and there's no more clones. Which of course it's the government, and they've been lying to Will Smith the entire time. So why would they be telling the truth now? So they could leave themselves open for a sequel if they wanted, but I don't think this movie's going to get a sequel or anything. And the movie, again, it's just like the Addams Family. It's not a terrible movie. It's definitely not as bad as Ang Lee's last movie, which was that one about the soldier at the walking during the halftime show or whatever at Cowboy Stadium. But the movie's fine. But it's not great. And like Addams Family, I would call it a rental as well. And with with the Breaking Bad movie coming out this weekend, at least I have that to look forward to. I still need to review War, which I'm looking forward to talking to you guys about that movie, because man, is that movie insane. So yeah, with the Addams Family and Gemini Man this weekend, there's not much really new at the theaters to go see. I probably won't be seeing Jexy because it's not here in town, and I'm not gonna travel to Springfield for an Adam Devine movie. So yeah, really, there's not much in the theaters to go see. I mean, there's still good things out to go see, but nothing new at this time. That's going to be all for this edition of Talkin Movies Double Feature. If you like what you've heard here, please subscribe to the Real Geno YouTube channel, like this video, and if you have anything to say about Gemini Man or the new Addams Family movie, please feel free to leave a comment in the section below. Till next time, I am your very tired host, the Real Geno, Geno Reynolds. See you later. I'm going to bed.